why should one torture the body for moksha in Jainism? Is it necessary in this era?
So, the principle, again, I will only talk about the principle. The principle is body identification is the main obstacle in realization of the truth. I think I am this body and I live for the comfort of the body. Then I feel I am this small entity, this jiva. So then I am attached to this body. Then happiness is in the world outside. Now to get out of that attachment to the body, certain tapasya is done. Tapasya is different from torture. Tap literally means to burn. And tap also means to shine. So when I do tap, it is to burn away my negative karma. It is to burn away my attachments. Get me out of my comfort zone. That is the purpose of tap. So when fasting is done, person is supposed to think of Bhagwan. Upa means near. Vasa means to sit. To sit near the Lord is called upvas. When I sit near the Lord, meaning constantly remember the Lord. So the normal food, etc. that I eat, cooked food, etc., that takes a lot of pranic energy to digest. Takes time to cook, all that. When I don't do that, when I eat only limited, or I drink only water between sunrise and sunset, there are many things which are associated in that. One is that jiva hatya happens less. Second aspect is there is a lot of pranic energy which arises upwards, because when we eat food, the prana goes downwards. The pranic energy moves downwards to digest it and all that. This pranic energy goes upwards. And with that energy going upwards, when I am able to do japa or do meditation, evolution happens very fast. That's the purpose. So, and the body has to be trained. It cannot be suddenly done. And it is not to be done for the sake of just show, oh, I did 8 days, I did 20 days, I did for 30 days. It is not meant for show. It is meant for really understanding that body is a byproduct of food. Am I a byproduct of food? Food before I eat, do I consider that idli as me? It is called idli, no? It is not me. And when the waste product comes out, is that considered as me? Definitely not. Suddenly in between, why this is considered as me? This is a byproduct of food. I am something different from that. To help a person to understand that you are different from the body. Body is a modification of just some food. It is not, it's just an equipment. And so when extreme body identification is there and one is not able to understand this part, what to do? Make that person slowly trained. So first you do, 2 times in a day you eat. Besanu it is called. Only 2 times in a day. Regularly, otherwise how many times in a day we eat? No count only. Nothing doing. Between sunrise and sunset only 2 times. There also you remove all the, underground vegetables and all which grow, because for that you have to pluck them out. They will die. So to reduce that jiva hatya, you don't eat all those underground vegetables and all. You eat only certain type of food between sunrise sunset. Then from 2 times you come to 1 time. That is called ekasano. And then from 1 time you do proper upvas, which is only with water. And you alternate. 1 day ekasano, 1 day upvas. 1 day ekasano, 1 day upvas. Like that. And then slowly you do more upvas. And then slowly you do 8 days. Then you do 10 days. It's a continuous training of the body also. If we look at it as a torture, then mind will not be able to benefit more from it. But it's a training. It's there in our culture, in Hindu culture also, it's there in Jainism, it is there. Is it required in today's age? At any age it is required to get out of body identification. How I train myself to do it and what is the main purpose, if I focus on that, that's enough. Idea is not to not eat food. Idea is to think of the Lord. Idea is to remove the attachment to the body. And there are enough people who follow this in spirit, and which is what is required. And there are enough people who don't follow this in the spirit, they do it for the sake of the publicity. अरे इन्होंने इतना उपवास किया. Okay, do. So the idea is not to torture. The idea is to get knowledge. That is the important aspect. Any tapasya is not a torture. When the spirit of the tapasya is maintained, then it is a tapasya only. And that tapasvi is revered. And it is more difficult sadhana not to allow that to go into the head. So when that parana is done, everybody will come and give, feed that person little, food, or that jaggery water or some sugar water. And they will all come and bless the person, or they will tell good things to that person, congratulate that person. It is more difficult not to allow that to go inside the head. It is also another form of tapasya one has to follow. But the idea is that any tapasya, Gurudev used to say, tap means any attempt to get out of my present state of evolution into a higher state of evolution. That is called as tap. And that is required. At any era it is required. Only thing we have to understand is by time we need to adapt ourselves. But if tap is not there in one's life, nothing great can be achieved. Because the opposite of tap is pat. Pat means to fall. If there is no tapasya, we will fall in life. So it is required and one should adapt. Certain things one must be flexible, which is the beauty of Hindu culture. And certain things, I agree, in some places sometimes it happens that the emphasis on the ahimsa aspect is a lot. So sometimes it appears not practical in today's age. But then that culture has to adapt itself. And they are adapting also. Earlier the Jain sadhus and sadhvis would never go by, a car or a train or a flight. But today they are going. Because by time one has to change. Their thought process may have been different at that point when it was started. So even when they walk, there will be, to clean the road and go, because you don't trample upon the jivas. So that much sensitivity is there. But that principle then, that electricity means lot of jiva hatya happens. In water there are jivas. So then they don't use electricity. But in today's age, then you have to use for some reasons. Otherwise you will trouble more people. And slowly adapting is happening even in that. So it has to be done that way.